Help me, God. Good evening, Faye. Good evening. Good evening. How are you this evening? Love you big time. I am caught really off guard. I pushed the button too soon. Sorry. Hey, Tammy. Always 100, never fake. Good evening, Lisa Robinson, Louise Rawls, who shows up like once every 90 days. Miss Ferris, when I get back in town, you and I will have a meeting. And I'm gonna just give you a little hint, but it's a coming to Jesus meeting. So get your shouting shoes on. We're gonna go to church when I get back. Who else is here tonight? Nia is in the house as always. Love you big time. Thank you for tuning in. Lisa Robinson, welcome back. Welcome back. Hadn't seen you in a minute, I think, and stuff. Okay, I see up top we're losing signal a little bit because, of course, we're not at home. We're like in a hotel again. Uh, Mickey D, hey, what's going on? Welcome, love you big time. Thank you for tuning in. I'm not going to hold you all long tonight because we've done at least 3 or 4 um, videos today, and I'm sure we'll do 3 or 4, or maybe more tomorrow. Briefly, I just want to talk about the seriousness of what's going on in our country, and then I'm going to let you all go. Incidentally, I am going to open up the phone lines tonight. I can't be but about maybe 20 minutes because of my voice. But if you want to call in tonight and speak about the case live, the number is up there on the screen somewhere. Jacqueline, good evening to you and welcome. Uh, Here's the deal. Minneapolis don't get it wrong. Minneapolis don't get it wrong. Miss Unique, only one. Hey girl, only one. Feel that. Love you big time. Um, this thing is bigger than George Floyd. This thing has a lot of names attached to it. Michael Brown, Emmett Till, Marcus Huston, Travinsky Oda. It has a lot of names attached to it. And I hope there's not a truck. Somebody's alarm is going off. Okay, they cut it off at 1 hour. Okay, and here's the thing. The people keep saying to the protesters, let's have a peaceful protest. Let's have a peaceful protest. Let's have a peaceful protest. If you would tell your officers to stop being so damn violent, we wouldn't have to protest. So what you ought to do is to tell your officers to stop being so damn violent. But you cannot expect to continue to commit violence against people and not be met by those same measures. Don't burn nothing down. Don't do this. Don't do that. Whatever they want to do, do it. Whatever they want to do, do it. All I'm saying is that don't burn up and tear shit up where you live at. Don't be super stupid. Don't do that. I gotta fix this thing. Oh, there we go. Don't do that. That's super stupid. I cannot tell you how to react because these are your emotions. These emotions are just not tied to George Floyd. These emotions are tied to the whole world because we're sick of this bullcrap. We have begged, we have protested, we have screamed, we have cried, and nothing has changed. You continue to meet us with violence and then want us to come out and protest peacefully. That's like oil and water. It just don't mix. J Rock is in the house. Good evening. Oh, look who's here. Hey, Winfrey is in the house. Latalia's here tonight as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Love you big time. Trying to catch everybody again. There is Bossy. Hey, girl. Welcome. So I'm trying to bring you a little laughter with all that's going on because not Minneapolis, the United States is on high alert. They just gave another okay for some more National Guards to come out and help. And this is the whole United States. The Capitol is on high alert. The White House is on high alert. They're not going to speak about it until after the verdict comes. I don't think we're going to get a verdict until probably between Wednesday and Friday, maybe longer. I know we won't get one tonight, and I'm positive one will not come tomorrow. There was enough evidence there to convict Chauvin 30 times. But be mindful, this is a white man. This is a black man that's in the grave. And it's difficult to get an arrest, and it's even more difficult to get a conviction, even when the evidence says he did that. He did. Nothing George Floyd did says it was okay to kill him. Nothing. Nothing. If we do what we always did, then we will get what we always got. Sometimes, in order to get some peace in our lives, we're going to have to get together and we're going to have to raise some hell. Maxine Waters did not tell the protesters to commit violence. Maxine Waters did not tell them to commit violence. She told them, stay out there. Don't move. Keep the heat on. They took it. They ran with it, turned it their way. I honestly don't think the judge should have said anything about it today. Because now he's putting different thoughts in the juror's mind. He should have kept his mouth closed. He was pissed with it or whatever. Keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. We're on verdict watch. This is serious. Maxine Waters is a fighter, and you don't want to mess with her. And she loves her people. And she said what she said because she's tired. Y'all are tired. I'm tired. Y'all are scared. I'm scared. We don't know what the hell is going to happen. If it can get bad, it's going to get bad. You cannot get it wrong. If you convict him on one, that's going to be wrong. If you convict him on two, that's going to be wrong. If you convict him on all three, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. But I'm thankful that they just didn't put one charge there, which means that he could easily walk. But you have three charges to choose from. You can get A, B, C, or you can get A, B, and C. Closing arguments today, the prosecutor opened up after the judge spoke to the jury at 9:29 a.m., since I was still on the interstate. He said, George Perry Floyd, last words were, please, I can't breathe. That's it. We know he's guilty. But since we know that videos don't lie, now watch this. Videos don't lie. If videos don't lie, and we know videos don't lie, but cops do. If we're going to take the word of a police officer who tells us that what we are seeing on that video is not what we are seeing, that we are crazy, our eyes are playing tricks on us, and we're going to take the words of a racist, diabolical, crooked cop, then we don't need body cams for the officers, and they don't need dash cams, because they're not helping. They're not helping the victims. They're helping the cops. So if we're going to sit and look at something and we see, and there's no what y'all saw. No, I know it looked like it, but it didn't happen. Tommy says he needs what he gave in my book. If you don't say nothing else to in this live feed, you just preached. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Black people, we got to stop being so peaceful. We have to stop this. You have to stop letting them inflict violence on you and then tell you to respond to violence in a peaceful way. That don't make no sense. But as a cop, you can't shoot a cop. How come I can't? Until we start busting back, won't nothing change. Until cops start getting convicted, won't nothing change. I'm going to say this on every video till it's over. If these had been black cops, had been killing little innocent unarmed white boys and little innocent unarmed white girls in the United States, it would not have lasted this long. We would have seen police reform by now, because them white folks would have said, nigga, stop. Everyone that you will be executed 3 days after we put cuffs on your ass for killing that white child. You know better than that. They would have taken every gun from every officer in the United States and replaced that gun with a bolo bag. When you're killing white kids, no, we don't do that shit. No, no. And what Como said the other night was right. We won't see police reform until they start killing white kids. Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad? So if you do what you always did, you're going to get what you always got, right? And to keep doing what you've been doing, looking for different results, I think Einstein said, that's a nut. You insane. Emotions don't change laws. Conversation change laws. We got to get in there. We got to sit with them. But it's just not about the police. It's just not about the police. Now watch this. Rightfully so, to direct your anger to the cops that's killing us. But here's the thing. If the cops were being held accountable, this would have died down a long time ago. Therefore, we got to go past the cops. In other words, the whole damn system is guilty. Because I can do what I want to do, and I'm not going to be held accountable because you all are not humans anyway. You're not humans. You're just a bunch of damn niggas. You're lowlife. You don't give a shit. You shouldn't have been there. You shouldn't have went over there. You shouldn't have looked. You should have obeyed my command. Chauvin put half of his weight on George's neck. There was no oxygen. Cause of death, homicide. The medical examiner who performed the autopsy, cause of death, homicide. Wasn't no fumes from the exhaust pipe. Wasn't no drugs. Wasn't no heart problem. Wasn't no coronavirus. Derek Chauvin killed George Floyd. And it was personal. He was told several times to get up. He was begged several times, let him up. He had a smirk on his face. He had this, talking to my sister Brenda that she said, what really pissed her off when he would put his hands in his pocket and smirk. He didn't give a damn. That's he didn't get, you cannot sit here and tell me that, well, he didn't mean to kill him. What? He was being warned, you're killing him. You're killing him. George was saying, please, he even begged for water. Nothing. You can't breathe. You're talking, sound like you're breathing to me. And he was breathing, barely. Barely. This was an intentional homicide. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no other way to look at it. There's no other way to look at it. Protests are going on now all over the United States. Just not in Minneapolis. But it will not come to an end until we get serious and we let them know that we're tired. We'll never win. We'll never be able to win until we truly get tired of losing. So what we've been doing, people, that shit ain't working no more. It ain't working no more. But I understand their anger when they tear up shit. People do strange things when they get angry. So you cannot dictate a person's emotions. Just like when your loved one died and someone said, baby, it's going to be all right, don't cry. That's the wrong thing to say. I know you're trying to comfort them, but what you're telling them when you tell them don't cry is you're telling them to deny their emotions for what was once a part of them. Baby, cry. You got to get it out. George Floyd knew it was over. George Floyd, mama. I'm coming, mama. Chauvin didn't give a damn. Karana, I think I'm saying your name right. If I'm wrong, I apologize. She says, I wouldn't be surprised if this whole trial is a big act and prosecution included, just like Zimmerman. You know what? I'm going to say two things to you on that. I think the prosecutor did an excellent job in this case. I mean, excellent. But I agree totally with what you just said. I agree totally with you because one thing we have to remember, the system consists of the prosecutors. We have to remember that we had to kick and scream to get them to put handcuffs on this white man. So you make an excellent point. Here's how we get bamboozled all the time. When what she just said, we don't think like that. We think the system is going to do the right thing. We're fighting the system because they're doing the wrong damn thing. So how can you have faith in them? That judge, when Cynthia and I talked about it today, when that jury said that George Zimmerman was not guilty, That judge was so ready, and she looked at George Zimmer and said, "You have no more dealings with this court. Bye." And that was it. And that was it. That was it. He did an excellent job. Excellent job. But she made a valid point. And the truth is the truth, whether you believe it or not. Sometimes we have to hear things in life that we don't want to hear. But this is for the next time your child has an encounter with the police. You want your child to come home safe. You don't want them killed. Your child can do everything that you tell your child to do. Don't mean nothing. If they're going to kill you, they're going to kill you. The 13-year-old boy, he had his hands up in Chicago, had his hands up last month, and they held that video from the public until they got through doing their doctoring on it. And the prosecutor lied and said, yeah, he had a gun. He had a gun in his hand. When he surrendered, he had it in his hand. Listen to the story. When he surrendered, he had a gun in his hand. It's impossible for you to surrender with your hands up, your paws flat, for you to have a gun or any damn thing in the palm of your hand. So they had to, I got to take you off this case. You started out lying. That's how they do all the time. When they're in the courtroom, they know the law. They are the law. And they know 9 times out of 10, you're not going to challenge because you ain't no damn body. You ain't got no money. Do you know how many George Floyds we'll never know about? J. Rock said these fools are trying to mistrial this case. Exactly. There's a lot of bullshit in it. I'm going to read. There's a lot of bullshit in it. It is. And Louise Rawls says we could all see his hands was up with no gun. This is a baby. This is a 13-year-old baby. A 13-year-old baby. And you see how easy it is to kill a child and don't give a damn and go about business. It's just another day. He shouldn't have been out at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I don't know why he was out. Doesn't mean that it was the parents, whoever had him, should be charged with child neglect. He may have snuck out. I don't know. But listen, don't act like you so damn holy that you ain't never done that. You said, I done been out that time of night when I was a child. So right now, to me, it's irrelevant why he was out. I want to know why he's dead and he didn't have a weapon. That's what I want. I don't give a damn about the weapon in the back of him, on the side of him. I want to know why he's dead, and his hands was up, and there was no weapon. That's what I want to know from the man that killed him. Anything else is irrelevant right now. If you're tired, you got to let them know you're tired. Sometimes we have to step out on a limb. You can't be scared to challenge the system. You're scared to challenge the system because you might go to jail. You might go to jail. You might go to jail in the midst of a protest. You might go to jail. You might go to jail. But your dumb ass will wake up in the morning and go outside and deliberately commit a crime and carry your ass to jail. That's super stupid. That's just super damn stupid. It had to be extremely hard on the family, especially Floyd's brother, to sit and have to hear all this. And look at the man that killed your brother for no reason. For no reason. No reason at all. Drugs didn't kill him. It didn't. Chauvin killed him. It was personal. It was personal. I only pray that they get it right. And the only way they're going to get it right is to convict him on all 3 charges. That's it. Chauvin needs to put so far in the prison system that we got to pump daylight to his pink ass. He sat there in the trial like he was an attorney. His damn little big pen sitting there. What the fuck are you taking notes for? You know what happened. You the damn killer. You know the story better than we do. Why are you taking notes? His facial expression says one thing. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about the nigga. He should have been dead. Prosecutor said when they was picking him up, his body was so limp, and we saw that. And that they had to hold his head so it wouldn't fall. Basically, it was over. It was over then. All he said, please, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. People are tired. This is 2021, and the bullshit is still going on. We're going to have to raise some hell, y'all. We're going to have to do some things that we don't want to do. But if you don't want me to really get ignorant and dignified, I suggest you get it right. Police officers in this country must be held accountable for what they do. You can't do what you want to do just because you have on a badge and a damn gun. Ooh, that coffee hot and good. You can't do what you want to do because you have on a badge and a gun. You may not give a damn about that individual in front of you, but somebody do. Whether they're famous or not. They can be thugs, they can be drug addicts. Somebody love them. We're tired of our children becoming celebrities through death. We're tired. We're tired. And this is a call for all hands on deck. Jackie West, good evening to you. All hands on deck. All hands on deck. Tensions are high right now. We're ready for it, but then we're not. Because we know the system. We've been here before when the evidence that presented sealed a person's fate. But because it was a cop and a white cop, not guilty. Not guilty. Oh, I find him guilty of a lesser charge. Assault and battery, 6 months. When they do that, here's what they're saying to you and me. Our voices don't matter. We're inanimate objects. We have no feelings. We're nothing. We're not human. And when they kill us, we've done society a favor. Anytime a police union comes out and support the killing, the unjustifiable killing of an officer, that's a big problem right there. That individual must be removed. Must be removed. You can't keep giving them a green light to kill people just because they feel like it and they're a cop. Well, Mr. Scott, he should have followed the commands. I don't know what more George Floyd could have done when he was in handcuffs, face down on the concrete. Handcuffed. Well, sometimes it's not just physical. People are saying things verbal that are disagreeing with the officers. Okay. The crowd distracted the officer, and he was nervous. If they had been quiet, he wouldn't be dead. It was so much bullshit they kept bringing up to try. He had a lot of drugs, and they said, no, he didn't. They said his drugs that was in his system was so low you almost couldn't read it. Well, if he had been driving a car, would he have been able to maintain control? Yes, he wouldn't have got pulled over. It wasn't enough in his system. You can say what you want to say, but the medical examiner said his cause of death, one word, say it with me, homicide. That's it. And if you let this white boy walk, you know what they tell other white cops? Keep doing what you're doing. Y'all doing good. Y'all doing good. Y'all doing good. That's what it tells them. There's no respect for us. We just saw a 20-year-old boy get killed at the hands of a white woman who swore up and down she thought she had a taser, and she taught the class on how to use a taser. She thought her taser is over here and her gun totally different. We put a video up of a police officer that made her look super. It's impossible to confuse. It's impossible. They feel different. One is heavy, one is not so heavy. In order for her to have tased him with the lock that she had on there, she would have to take her left hand, because the gun was in her right hand. She would have to take her left hand and unlock it and then shoot. So she didn't do that, did she? She shot with the right hand. You know what that means? That was a gun. She had enough time to look at that gun, get the feel of that gun, and say, oh, this is my gun. Taser, taser. She did that for her defense in the courtroom. I was saying taser, taser. Bossy Queenie says they got armies ready with riot gear on deck for the verdict. Shaking my head. You know, and I'm gonna get ready to get out of here because we got to eat. But I'm glad you said that. That's the thing right there. You keep telling us to come out and protest peacefully, but when we take to the streets, you meet us in the middle of the street with riot gear on. So that means you come to start bullshit. You deliberately come to do that. Cops have been caught on camera doing that, messing with the protesters, to agitate them enough to shoot them, lock them up. If they were really trying to change the makeup of the police department, they wouldn't do the things that they do to us in the midst of a protest. What you are out here doing to us is the very thing we're fighting against. But we see you don't give a damn. You don't care. Our words have no value. You don't see us as people. We have to do what you say. And that's it. Lastly, racism and hatred is so thick in this country. You can feel it like a blanket wraps around you. Racism and hatred went on the rise when Donald Duck walked his pink, prejudiced ass in that White House. And after he left his pink ass out of that White House, we're now dealing with the side effects of that racist bastard, his people. He gave them the okay to come out, to take the robe off, to take the hood off, lay it on the floor, and step outside and say, I don't like you niggas either. But you've been eating with them for years and years. But he gave you that courage. It's kind of like when somebody drinking, they get that liquid courage to talk shit, and then they get whooped. That's what Trump did to them. And they came out. And you saw that man and that woman that you normally sit there and eat a damn boiled egg with and a carrot stick tell you they don't like you. Any study you do will tell you if it's the right one. Racism and hatred went on the rise when Donald Duck entered that White House. And these are the effects from him being in there. He okayed everything they did, everything the KK did, white supremacists, Proud Boys. And then Karen started popping up. But Karen continues to pop up. But one day, Karen, you gonna meet that right black person that's got that nigger in them, and that's gonna end that shit. That's gonna end that shit. You'll never make that call. As my dear would say, you're gonna dial 911, that's your ass. That's your ass. People should be free to be whoever they are, regardless of their skin color, nationality, personality, sexual preferences, whatever. You can't just go around killing people because you don't like them and because you are an officer of the law. Think about that, an officer of the law. You are to uphold the law, not break the law. There's going to be, either way it goes, there's going to be trouble in the street. Either way it goes, it's going to be blood in the streets. Because in a criminal courtroom, sometimes it's extremely difficult to please both sides. What's justice for some will be seen as injustice for others. They got a lot of folks who want this white boy to walk. They got a lot of folks who have not, this white boy did nothing wrong. They pulled up George's history. They wouldn't tell you about his history. They wouldn't tell you when he used his knee on a 14-year-old child's neck. They wouldn't bring that up. They wouldn't tell you about all his disciplinaries. They wouldn't bring that up. But they would put a dead man on trial. And the dead man was the victim. You all be safe out there. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. I'm never going to tell you to be peaceful. Do what the fuck you feel you need to do. I'm not going to give you no sugar-coated shit cookies. I'm going to tell it the way I see it. But if you feel you must tear up some shit, do that. But don't tear up your shit. Tear up their shit. It's simple as that. So We know the jury's been sequestered. They can't talk to some family members, but they cannot talk about the case. Again, I don't think we're going to get a verdict tonight or tomorrow night. I believe between Wednesday and Friday, and maybe later, we will get a verdict. I'm looking at CNN. It says there's protests still outside the courthouse as the jury deliberates. These protests are popping up all over the United States. Because, watch this now, these are just not black people. These are people. People are tired. They're attacking Asians. Anybody that's not pink is marked for death. So Mary Elizabeth says people are dropping and burning in Georgia. You mean people are being set on fire? Okay, somebody's talking about a movie. Okay, I don't know what's going on with that. J Rock, I got to read this. J Rock says, how ironic this verdict is close to the 29th anniversary of the LA riots for the Rodney King verdict on April the 29th, 1992. Brother, I love you big time. I thank you for bringing that up. I didn't see that. I didn't see it. I didn't see that. Only thing that came up is we're getting close to May 25th. As always, we appreciate you all tuning into our broadcast. We will be popping up. If something breaks tonight, we may pop back up again and stuff, but we will try to keep you updated as much as we can. Love you guys big time. Remember, I'm not always right, and you are not always wrong. Y'all enjoy your evening.